Today we're going to look at tragedy from Aristotle's point of view. Now, tragedy is a drama where the central characters suffer a disaster or a great misfortune. So what is Aristotle's definition? Well, in his Poetics, he writes, "Tragedy then is a process of imitating an action, which has serious implications, is complete and possesses magnitude, by means of language which has been made sensuously attractive, with each of its varieties found separately in the parts, enacted by the persons themselves and not presented through narrative, through a course of pity and fear, completing the purification of such emotions." So what does that mean? Well, according to Aristotle, when we look at a tragic hero, this is a person who is usually of noble birth. They should also have hamartia, also known as the tragic flaw, that is going to eventually lead to their downfall. Now, often this causes a mistake in judgment. They should also have what Aristotle called peripeteia, which is a reversal of fortune brought about by the hero's tragic flaw. This is also often influenced by the fates or by the gods. Now, his actions result in an increase of self-awareness and self-knowledge, though the hero may not choose to act upon this. Finally, in order to be a tragic hero, the audience must feel pity and fear for this character. So more about the tragic flaw. The flaw in the character is a defect in which keeps him or her from being aware of the situation around them. Now, the character does not understand for much of the story their part of creating this situation. For example, we might look at the Odyssey by Homer and Odysseus. Odysseus' tragic flaw is hubris, his excessive pride. And so he has some hamartia by gloating to the Cyclops Polyphemus, which places a curse on him and his men. After he escapes from the Cyclops, he yells back to the Cyclops his name, that he is the son of Laertes, that he's the king of Ithaca, and so therefore he tells Polyphemus who he is, and the Cyclops is able to ask his father Poseidon for help. Other examples of tragic flaws you might find in your tragic heroes, a sense of greed, an obsession with owning one thing, a sense of mistrust where there should be honesty, an ideal of uncertainty, usually in battle, a lack of patience with somebody, which might usually lead to killing or destruction. They're easily influenced by other bad sorts. They might hesitate or they might be selfish. And a lot of times, you're going to find your tragic hero has more ambition than they should be allowed. So Aristotle also wrote in Poetics, a man cannot become a hero until he can see the root of his own downfall. And so the tragic hero has a moment of enlightenment near the end of the story. That hero finally understands what he or she has done wrong and how he or she contributed to the tragic situation. Now, the story often ends with the death of the tragic hero. Now, his death is not a pure loss because it results in a greater knowledge and awareness for the hero and for the audience. We'll use Odysseus from Homer's The Odyssey once again. Odysseus does not realize until he enters the underworld and learns his fate, that he can't fight fate, even if he wants to. Now, this is evident when he next goes to his next battle. He enters Scylla and Charybdis, and while initially ignoring the warning not to fight, he eventually does not, and he loses 6 men. He knows he must do so, and so he does. Now, from this point on, Odysseus does not fight against the will of the gods, but gives into it. Now, when we also look at tragedy, there has to be a sense of catharsis in the tragic play. Now, catharsis is the purging of emotions created by a good tragedy. Now, we're feeling pity and fear as we watch the tragic suffering of the hero or other characters in the play. Now, these emotions are safely exercised and exorcised. The safety lies in the fact that the spectacle of the drama is not real. We understand the actors are not really hurt. And that'll do for Aristotle's tragedy. If you would like to learn more about Aristotle's Poetics, please leave a comment down below. I can certainly continue on. Or if you'd like to learn more events, such as maybe perhaps about Odysseus or about the Iliad, check out my channel. I've got more videos about them as well. And as always, I'd appreciate it if you subscribed.